Bonjour, je suis Tom Grimes, auteur de Superbad. Superbad is a novel, part autobiographical, and it's about me in my youth when I was somewhat super bad. And in it, two characters, Ivan and T, start out as drug dealers and come to New York and wind up art dealers. And it takes place in the late 70s in the art scene and music world of New York City. The book also is somewhat about American literature, and Ivan, who is a black character, as well as a character in the book, as well as someone I knew. And T is a white character. So to a certain extent, the book is a little bit like Huck Finn, Huckleberry Finn. There's a good deal of me in the book, and then there's also a good deal of me that, for dramatic purposes. In my 20s, I had lived a very sort of down and out life. I worked as a carpenter, I worked as a waiter, I worked as a packing fish at a packing plant. And living in Provincetown, I probably did things that I shouldn't have done. A lot of super bad things. Being published in France means a great deal to me because I wanted to be Hemingway and Henry Miller. I wanted to live in Paris, drinking wine, and sitting in cafes. In the United States, the French Enlightenment thinkers who suggested that everyone had the natural rights of man. The relationship of race is something that's not spoken about in the United States. It's always sort of buried under class relationships as well. Writing Superbad, I tried to find a language to write about race through friendship. It's difficult because our sense of ourselves are very fluid. And when Barack Obama was elected, everyone thought race problems in the United States would be over. And if anything, they've become more virulent. So it's a very complicated issue. It's very fraught with anger in the United States. But again, it's buried. I'm proud to be American because we can do something like elect Barack Obama, and it was a complete rejection of George Bush. I consider myself a New Yorker. I grew up in New York. And I wouldn't say the Texas writers are right-wing at all. I think that native Texas writers write about Texas, and that's what they think is important. Writing is the only thing that matters to me. I write because it goes to my sense of identity. I don't really know who I am if I'm not a writer. I've defined myself that way since I was 19. It's a very difficult thing to do, but I would not want to do anything else. And when I write, I don't think of an audience. I imagine that there are people who feel the same way I do. And a book like Superbad I wrote to make sense of who I was when I was in my 20s, and my life was vastly different, and I never imagined that I would be here. It was my dream to be here, to be in Paris, to be published as a writer and living here in Paris, visiting, being published by a wonderful press. But I wrote the book to understand who I was all those years ago. So it really makes sense of me and my identity. Without writing, I'd be lost. Also, I'm not this serious all the time. Most of my books, I think, are comedies, even though they're tragic or sad or very dark. I laugh a lot when I write them, and sometimes when I read them. I hope that that explains who I am a bit.